Breaking, what if I told you Everald Warmington, the JLP bulldog himself, might actually defect to the PNP? By the end of this video, you will see why that one move could be the final dagger in Andrew Holness's political career. And the question is, would Mark Golding even accept him after everything Warmington said? Everald Warmington versus Andrew Holness, Jamaica's biggest political showdown, from being fired in 2024 to humiliating Holness in Parliament in 2025 to dropping explosive hints on TVJ. Warmington has Jamaica asking one burning question: will Everald Warmington be the one to finally bring down Prime Minister Andrew Holness? In this explosive expert political breakdown, we'll break it all down. By the end, you will see why Warmington's next move could be Holness's ultimate downfall. But here's where the story gets even juicier. Rumors are now swirling in Kingston political circles. Could Everald Warmington actually swing to the PNP? Yeah, you heard that right. The same Warmington who once tore into Mark Golding and the PNP every chance he got. The same Warmington who acted as Holness's bulldog in Parliament for years. Imagine him now switching sides. The dilemma for the PNP. On one hand, Warmington brings raw numbers, influence, and the biggest JLP vote margin of 2025, 10,607 votes. On the other hand, this is the man who mocked Mark Golding and blasted the PNP as corrupt. Would Golding really open the door, or would he slam it shut, keeping Warmington in the wilderness? Here's the realpolitik play. The PNP doesn't even need to officially take him in. They can just let him keep embarrassing Holness, weakening the JLP from the inside, while the PNP sits back and watches the drama unfold like it's a Netflix special. So the $1 million question isn't just will Warmington destroy Holness? It's this: if Warmington knocks on the PNP's door, will Mark Golding let him in? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because if that ever happened, it wouldn't just be betrayal. It would be the JLP's nightmare and the PNP's nuclear weapon heading into the next election. Could Warmington swing to the PNP? Hypothetically, yes. Jamaica's politics has seen bigger flips before. Remember politicians who've cross-talked, cross-tabled, and crossed the floor when it suited them. Warmington has power, votes, and influence that makes him valuable to any party in raw numbers. But politics isn't just math, it's memory, and the PNP faithful have long memories. The big problem: his past attacks on Mark Golding. Warmington wasn't exactly kind to Mark Golding. In fact, he's lobbed some of the sharpest insult at the PNP leader. He called Golding unfit in past speeches. He blasted the PNP for corruption while shielding Holness. He used his bulldog energy to keep the PNP under constant attack. So the question isn't just would Warmington switch, it's would the PNP rank and file or leadership even stomach him? PNP's dilemma. Strategic advantage. A defection of Warmington would embarrass Holness, fracture the JLP, and give the PNP massive bragging rights before the next election. patriotic comrades, imagine the headlines. Holness's own bulldog joins the PNP. Moral/brand risk. Bringing him in would contradict the PNP's current narrative of clean politics, integrity, and a fresh start. Accepting Warmington might look desperate, like they're recycling JLP baggage. The realpolitik move. If Warmington came knocking, the PNP would likely 1. Keep him at arm's length publicly. We respect him as an MP, but no formal alignment at this time. 2. Quietly use his fire against Holness in Parliament and media without officially making him PNP family. 3. If public opinion swings hard against Holness, PNP could consider giving Warmington a political safe house role, similar to how defectors in the past were rehabilitated for votes. So, could Warmington flip to the PNP? Yes. Would the PNP accept him? Only if it helps them bring down Holness without staining their own integrity brand. And that's the million-dollar question. Is Warmington ready to swallow his pride and side with the man he once mocked? Or will Mark Golding decide revenge is a dish best served cold by keeping Warmington out in the wilderness while the PNP benefits from his war with Holness? Would you accept Everald Warmington into the PNP after all the things he said about Mark Golding? Or should he be left outside in the cold? Vote in the comments below. So, patriotic comrades, Warmington defecting to the PNP is not a far-fetched idea. You see, members say Holness them dissimina in a one big way. Disrespect Warmington so much that Warmington actually broke traditional protocol. What I mean by that is, traditionally, the entire JLP would march from the Bustamante Industrial Trade Union headquarters on Duke Street with his fellow JLP colleagues, but instead Warmington arrived at Garden House on his own. So guess what? Warmington reaching a Garden House and sit down and wait upon them. So when them, Holness and everybody bust the door and see Warmington already sit down by himself, them know exactly where Warmington depend. Them know say Warmington in his feelings and have half a whole of them because the whole of them diss him. So hence we see the man taking oath of allegiance and he swear in allegiance to his constituents and Jamaica. I think he repeat during his swearing in, he mentioned his constituency at least twice during his oath of allegiance, if I'm not mistaken. So I make you know say his allegiance, his loyalty is to his constituents. We give him the 10,607 votes, and that still give him whole heap of clout and power in the party, even though him never get no ministerial position. So Warmington is a ticking time bomb. Holness them have to be very careful and tactful when them a deal with someone that is a political TNT like a Everald Warmington. Yeah man, when you transport TNT, it is very fragile. So you have to handle it with care or else it will explode and blow up everybody and everything. But this blatant disrespect of Holness to Warmington is very obvious. Remember when Warmington are taking oath of allegiance, none of them know knocky bench for Warmington, but they knocky bench for everybody else in the Labour Party. And Holness already know what time Everald Warmington depend. So Holness not even try to extend his hand and say, yo Everald, when Everald Warmington a pass, cause Holness know say his hand would be left hanging in the air embarrassingly. You see me? So Holness have to just hold him on and know say, yo, make him do him a do. But Warmington have all of them secrets. You know everything where them a plan, and I know nothing new for politicians cross the floor. Patriotic comrades, imagine Everald Warmington give Mark Golding and the PNP the full blueprint for how his farmer party go about stealing elections. Every minute detail. And so yeah man, I saw them rob the 2025 general election for you. I saw them thief it. This are everything what they do. Imagine that. But as me say, should Everald Warmington reach out to the PNP, Mark Golding would consult with the members in the party and them would come to a decision whether or not them will accept him or reject him. The problem is if Warmington should decide in his mind that he would actually reach out to a Mark Golding and say, yo, you know what I'm saying? I want to cross the floor and I want to join the PNP. The issue now is if them would have let bygones be bygones and say, well, I know nothing personal, it's just politics. And if me did a bat for the PNP, I would be as equally vicious to every and anybody over the JLP just the same. With equal energy. That would be 29 seats to the PNP if Warmington come over. If that's a very big and strong if the PNP them accept him as well. So, and then when Holness losing seat to Comrade Paul Buchanan, that would be what? 30 seats. So the tally now would be 30 seats to the PNP and 33 seats to the JLP. That's just me strategically thinking if a Mark Golding decides to accept Everald Warmington. I am not saying that a Mark Golding should accept Everald Warmington, and I am not saying enough accept Everald Warmington. You have to look on the advantage and disadvantage, and you have to look on the situation in its entirety. How this are going to benefit me and the PNP going forward, especially in the next election. Is Everald Warmington someone that I can trust? Because you know they say the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and sometimes former adversary makes the best friends. Because guess what? Them all go above and beyond for prove to you, say yes, they are 100% loyal to you. So them all go out of them way for prove and try win your loyalty. So then we do whatever it takes to win your loyalty. For sure you and prove to you, say yes, me actually sincere and me depend the Marky G program. So that's also something to look into. And yes, you know, the JLP PR propaganda go run out in full swing from them communication task force and JLPFM and try spin the narrative and, you know, and say all sort of things if Everald Warmington should cross the floor. But I actually think the Holness actually done with Everald Warmington. Literally, I feel like said this is the end of the road for Everald Warmington and Holness relationship. You see me? I remember say Warmington did resign last year in 2024 from the cabinet, and Holness did fire Everald Warmington last year. So from last year, the bad blood between Holness and Warmington exists, and a brew between the two of them, because Warmington never happy with Holness firing him. So Warmington have off Holness and a preem and have him up for last year in 2024. And now we spill over in 2025. We see Holness not give him no ministerial position. Instead, he bring back Wheatley them, Montague them, Dalrymple Filbert them, and promote them. Holness even look for Malahoo Fort. So, but I am curious to know what you think. Yes, patriotic comrades, tell me what you think. If Everald Warmington, if you da let bygones be bygones, you see me, and just take the situation for what it is. It was never nothing personal when he did an attack a Mark Golding. He was just playing politics and doing what politicians do best. Cause right now Warmington the out in a wilderness. Warmington is out in the cold and alone. Patriotic comrades, Holness is not as invincible as how we act. Yes, it is all an act. He is very, very vulnerable. He is very vulnerable. You see me? There is always a chink in Andrew Holness's armor. Andrew Holness will always be Andrew Holness's biggest enemy. And because he knows that he is always vulnerable, that's why you see him try surround himself with his loyalists. I have to know this about Andrew Holness. He is only loyal to his political success, his political ambitions, and his political survival. So if you can help him achieve that, you have a place in a cabinet. If not, you have to go. You have to stay up on the outside. And in my own unsolicited opinion, me not see no reason for Holness I go to war with the likes of a Everald Warmington, knowing the type of soldier where Warmington be. Warmington is battle tested. Warmington say what upon him mind. Warmington I want a realist person in the JLP. Warmington make you know who him be. Warmington no play no hypocrite. Warmington make you know say, yo, at this me feel about what you do, and whether you like it or not, that are my stance. So patriotic comrades, Jamaican politics never disappoints. Every week it's a fresh Netflix series. But today's episode, oh trust me, this one's pure Shakespeare mixed with love and hip-hop, because Everald Warmington, yes, the same 55-year veteran JLP strongman, has just flipped the script on Prime Minister Andrew Holness in a way that has the entire parliament shook. And by the end of this video, you're going to see why Warmington's fallout with Holness could be the JLP's biggest ticking time bomb heading into the next election. And stick around, because what Warmington hinted at on TVJ might just be the deadliest dagger to Holness's political career. The backstory. The fallen general. Warmington wasn't just another JLP MP. He was Holness's bulldog, his blunt weapon in Parliament. Back in 2024, controversy erupted when Warmington threatened to withhold public funds from PNP councillor-elect Dr. Kurt Wall in Old Harbour South. Public outrage exploded, pressure mounted, and Prime Minister Holness is keen to look like Mr. Clean fired Warmington from the cabinet. So let's get this straight. Warmington got axed for running his mouth, but the likes of Wheatley, Montague, and Dalrymple Filbert, allegedly all accused of being neck deep in corruption, got State Minister post. Interesting definition of accountability. But if you thought Warmington was finished, oh no, he had one more card to play. The return, the great snub. Fast forward to 2025, Warmington wins his seat with a massive margin, 10,607 votes, the largest in the JLP. At the ceremonial opening of Parliament, cameras rolling, Warmington does the unthinkable. No handshakes for Juliet Holness, no handshakes for Prime Minister Andrew Holness, no handshake for colleagues from either side. He takes his oath of allegiance and walks straight out. Exit stage left. What a dramatic exit. That wasn't just a snub. That was a declaration of war. Allegedly, political insiders claiming Warmington wanted to be rewarded with House Speaker or at least a cabinet post. Instead, he got nothing. Meanwhile, Holness reappoints his old loyalist, Dr. Andrew Wheatley, Robert Montague, and Dalrymple Filbert. each tied to allegations and accusations of corruption scandals. So apparently in Holness's JLP, corruption is rewarded, but loyalty is disposable. And Warmington didn't just walk out, he started talking. The dagger. Warmington speaks out. Warmington to TVJ. After 55 years serving the JLP, he never touched corruption. He defended Holness for decades, shielding him from vipers. But now he asked the chilling question, will he defend him again? That, my friends, is not loyalty. That's a veiled threat. He blasted Holness for surrounding himself with scandal-tainted officials while sidelining his own bulldog. And then the final cliffhanger. Warmington tells reporters, stay tuned for what is to come. What exactly is Warmington planning? A tell-all, a defection, or could he even swing to the PNP? That's the million-dollar question. But the big question on everyone's mind, is this the man who could finally bring down Andrew Holness? Warmington isn't just angry. He's armed with decades of insider knowledge. And if he decides to unload, the fallout won't just hit Holness, it could blow the JLP sky high. And based on what Warmington hinted on TVJ, that political earthquake might be closer than we think. Do you think Warmington has the power to destroy Holness's career? Or is this all smoke and no fire? Drop your verdict in the comments below. Here's a summary of the highlights and the key points. Warmington got fired in 2024 over threats to PNP's Kurt Wall. Holness reappointed scandal-tainted ministers while freezing out Warmington. In 2025, Warmington won by 10,607 votes, but publicly snubbed Holness and his wife. Warmington now openly questions whether he'll defend Holness ever again. He teases that something big is coming. Everald Warmington's rebellion isn't just personal. It exposes the JLP's rotten foundation of cronyism, double standards, and hypocrisy. And if Warmington really decides to drop the bomb he's hinting at, Andrew Holness's empire could crumble faster than Tivoli in 2010. So what do you think? Is Warmington bluffing, or is he about to pull the ultimate betrayal? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because trust me, the drama is only just beginning. And if you want to stay ahead of every political scandal, corruption twist, and backroom deal in Jamaica, hit subscribe right now and watch the next video on your screen.